Welcome back to Bravo Bedside Banter. This is our 10th episode, and I'm
Yay.
Rachel.
I am Meredith, and we are so glad to be here. 10
10
episodes.
That was Jinx. We did that on point.
I love it.
So there's a little bit to talk about today, but then one major topic that's coming up in Below Deck that we kind of want to expand upon and talk about our perspectives, ideas, experience with, etc., and that is cheating. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the hot goss that's happening in the Bravo sphere this week.
Yes, there's a lot happening. First off, something fun and amazing. Rachel just sent me this Bravo experience that's in New York. And I
Yeah,
need to go and see this with my own eyeballs.
it's like a restaurant bar, right? That's what I was gathering, but then it's also like an experiential thing.
Yeah, it was kind of like a pop-up, interactive pop-up was kind of
Yeah,
what I took from it.
it looked amazing. It had like some iconic scenes set up.
Yeah. And just the best of the best. So I may have to go to New York. I have people in New York to
Yeah,
see.
I know. I would love to go to New York and meet you there.
And also I saw that Luann is going to be here on her tour later this year in Atlanta. So
Oh my God, are you going to go see her?
I
You might.
have to
You have to. You have to see the Countess.
do some R&D.
I know. I love
Maybe I
it.
can meet her.
If you meet her, that would be amazing.
We'll
I
see.
think I feel like she definitely does meet and greets at those
Oh
things.
yeah.
She loves the fame. She
She's
loves
a
the
countess
attention.
for the people.
She loves it all. She's not gonna let an event go by where she's not meeting and greeting and waving, doing
Right.
the wave.
Having a moment.
Exactly. She needs a moment, multiple moments.
Yes. So we are recording before this week's OC.
Yeah.
So no updates there, but we did see something about Alexis.
Oh my God. That she said that Johnny J offered to pay her entire salary so that she wouldn't go on Orange County. And
Which I don't believe.
I don't believe either. I
I
want to look
think
up
it's
how much she's getting paid. Let's see how much she's getting paid this season.
because I think she's just a friend of this season, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that she has a orange.
Let's see what she's getting.
But I don't believe that for a single second because if he truly didn't want her to be on it, I think he is also kind of a fame whore. As much as he wants to
So too.
claims to be like that he wants to be out of the spotlight, I think he likes it.
Okay, so people are guessing that she's making less than $100,000 for the season as a friend of.
And then how much would he make from being on it by default?
Yeah, no, she wants to be back in the light so bad. And also,
Yeah,
he doesn't have money. Like, that was the whole issue with him and Shannon is that he didn't pay for anything.
right.
Where's he going to get 90 grand? Is he going to pay her in an installment plan over 5 years?
Yeah.
He's going to be like, I can give you $5,000 a year.
And yeah, she would not have anything to provide if it wasn't for this storyline. So
That woman
he is
is
storyline.
delusional.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Interesting.
delusional.
I don't believe it for a single second.
I don't believe it either. There's no way. There's no way that he offered to do that because he also met her when she definitely like remember this we've talked about the timeline a lot, but he met her in November. The show started filming in January. She's already signed all her contracts.
Yeah.
Like there's no way and those contracts are like not easy to get out of. And they've already like started talking about like what storylines are going to be, etc. Like there's no way that she would even be able to get out of those contracts.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just stay tuned. I am more optimistic about OC than I am about New Jersey. So, also this week came out that Andy kind of leaked
Yeah.
that New Jersey is going to get a whole new facelift, all new cast, all new everything. And I think it's been time. This season was very sloppy. This whole like build up that Teresa had everybody come over and have this build up to basically share what everybody else already knew. Like, I don't think anybody was shocked. I don't think that this was like anything new.
No, no. Why do you think Teresa thought it was new?
I
Or
think
pretended it was
Teresa's was just holding on to the cliff with her,
new? Yeah.
as tight as she could, knowing that the end is probably near, wanting to make something happen to be relevant for another
Yeah.
season. But this is it's it's had its time. She's paid her dues.
Mhm.
She had a good run, and let's put her to bed and invite a whole new cast.
It's really cringy when they hold on for dear life and it ruins the season. And now we've seen that happen twice this year with Vanderpump and with New Jersey. Like when these
Yeah.
people are just like with Lala and Sheena, like holding on for dear life, trying to make storylines, trying to like just do really strange things that aren't like funny unhinged. They're just like cringy and ick and boring unhinged.
Yeah.
And same with New Jersey. And along the lines of New Jersey. So, if you're not following us on social media, please follow us on social media because my sister doesn't watch Bravo really. She started watching Vanderpump Rules when the Scandival happened because she was staying with me and I was trying to explain to her what's happening. And she then binged like 9 seasons in about a month and watched all of them and caught up. So that's the only one she watches, and she'll watch Summer House with me sometimes. So the other day I was like, I'm going to show you some iconic clips. And I showed her the clip of the table flip, prostitution whore. And she lost it. And so that clip of me showing that to her is on our social media. And it's amazing. If
It's
you want
amazing.
us to show her other clips that you find iconic, send us a DM. I'm definitely going to show her the. My favorite moment in all of Real Housewives is Aviva throwing her leg. Um, that's like my favorite unhinged moment. I think I'll show her that next, but I know we've got to show her Vicky in the van.
Yeah.
We've got to show her. God, there's so many moments to choose.
Nene in the white refrigerator.
Nene in the white refrigerator.
Please, please, please. Like Atlanta, we're about to have a whole new era. This is also something I wanted to
Clip,
talk about.
clip, clip. Portia.
I cannot wait. Portia's going to be here and Phaedra's coming back.
I know it's gonna be iconic.
The earth is healing. I mean, yes, Phaedra did some shady shit and really did Candy wrong. I Two things can be true at once. I am also so fucking excited to have her back on my TV. You have no idea. She makes the best TV. This season is going to be funny.
It
They're
is gonna be
making Atlanta funny again.
because well, we want to like. I think sometimes maybe the cast even forgets this. That a lot of times we watch these shows because they're funny too. It's not just about the drama and the crazy things that you're doing and the fights. Like, yeah, that's kind of fun to watch, but we watch it because it's funny, and we also watch it. And you know who's a great example is Emily Simpson. She's become really good at this of being like funny shady. Like we want
Yeah.
funny shady.
Yeah.
Paige DeSorbo on Summer House. She's funny shady. Like
Yeah.
I want to laugh at the shade you're throwing. I don't want to cringe at it all the time.
Portia Williams.
Yes,
She's
exactly.
bringing drama and she's going to be comedic relief. Like I cannot wait. We're going to get
Yes,
to hear about all the things that are happening in her life right now and to have her back, everything. And I am curious if they had to get Kenya gone in order to get Phaedra back.
probably.
Because Kenya, I think, filmed like maybe 1 week or something and then got fired
Oh,
or asked to leave.
well, because there was that scandal with her showing someone's picture. I like didn't
Uh,
understand the whole thing that was happening. Like someone, she like
Rachel, it wasn't even just that she showed someone, it was that allegedly, and I don't know if we'll see it or not, allegedly, she had these photos blown up and displayed at an event.
and it was like cyber porn bullying,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone's private pictures that she had somehow gotten a hold of and like slut shamed her through.
Yeah. So I
Ooh.
doubt that we'll get to see that unravel because that's, bad PR
I wonder
for
if they'll
everyone
talk
involved.
about it like the event, or they'll like talk about it in any terms though, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
hope.
on
I don't
Below
know.
Deck, how they like handled, the sexual assault pretty upfront. I
Yeah.
wonder if they'll do something like that of like, this is really wrong.
Or maybe wait until the reunion and address it. I don't. I hope that we get a reunion. What's happening to reunions? Are we just in the era of not having reunions?
I well, New Jersey doesn't have a reunion.
I
Who else
know.
doesn't have a reunion?
The Valley never had a reunion.
Oh yeah, but most Bravo shows don't have a reunion their first season. I didn't know that, but I read an article on Bravo the other day, and they're like, we don't do that a lot for our first seasons,
Huh.
which is a bummer because
Do you
that would
know
have
who
been
invented reunions?
who?
Nene Leakes.
Are you serious?
Yes. She's the one that said, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, but she is the one that said, I have things to address.
Oh, you're right. Like
And do
early,
you remember? I mean, I could very
yes,
well, this could be like revisionist. I'm pretty sure that this is at least how I'm remembering it. That she said, I have things that I need to address. And they were very informal. I mean, do you remember the early reunions? People were wearing capris,
yeah, 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 yeah. And then they
kitten
became like
heels.
really glammed, like evening gown glam. And then Jenna Lyons last year was like, "Fuck this, I'm wearing jeans." And
Yes.
respect to the queen.
Which is honestly like an homage to where we came from.
Totally. Speaking of another iconic scene, now that you mentioned Atlanta, I've got to show Sarah Kim smoking her cigarette, drinking
Yes.
her wine, driving with Sheree in the convertible, and singing as she's going to her singing lesson, and then
Yes.
asking during her singing lesson if she can smoke.
Yes. Also, Kim in the booth with Candy.
Yes, yes.
We just need to have like what how you need to unravel it for to Sarah is just like a little bit of Atlanta, a little bit of New Jersey. I mean, think about old New York because I've been watching old seasons, like season 4 and 5 of New York. Chef's
Old New York
kiss.
is so good.
Yes.
I don't know, like last season, the new ladies, I liked it okay. It was better than the last couple seasons with all of the old cast.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what New York will bring this season. I'm also really surprised Jenna Lyons is coming back because the whole time she was giving Mary Cosby. She was giving, I don't want to be here. Why am I signed up for this?
And I think the people love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, also, I don't know if you've seen this as well, but there's a show this summer about like, I forget what it's called, but it's like the kids of Bravo Lebs, like, are trying out their fate in Manhattan or trying out adulting in New York City.
No.
And one of Kim's daughters is on it. I don't know if it's Brielle or Ariana is going to be on it. And then I think Brooks Marks is going to be on it. I
Of
read
course
something
she is.
about it.
It's all the kids that are like fame whores.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how that comes out and if they can make it, as cohesive as they hope to be.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. So there
Wow.
are good things down the pipeline. I hear also that we are going to be granted a legacy at some point.
Amazing. Like another
Yes.
like a girls trip, like another Real Housewives girls trip type of thing.
Like New York Legacy. I don't know how they're going to film it.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have like two New York seasons going on.
And I don't know if it'll be at the same time. That's still TBD.
Well, because we all miss the people that made New York great. We miss Sonia. We
Yeah.
miss as much as I know this is gonna be a hot take because Ramona has done some pretty problematic things. But Ramona was good TV.
Yeah.
Um I miss Luann. I miss
Yeah.
Dorinda. Like Dorinda is queen. She is so fucking funny. Another one
Also
who's
makes great TV.
shady. Yeah, she's shady, but she's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love Dorinda. She loves
me
a
too.
good theme. She loves a good costume.
She has a lot of rules that she doesn't tell anyone, and then gets really upset when they're broken.
I
I
know.
love when housewives have rules that they don't tell anyone, and then they're like, "I can't believe you would do that," and it's like a
Yeah.
strange rule about their house that no one would understand unless you told them.
Or like the unspoken of social rules as
Yeah, the
well.
unspoken social rules that there's like, I can't believe you would do that. It's like, wait, what? How is
Yeah,
this
like
real?
this wasn't, yeah.
Dorinda loves unspoken rules
She does. So I love that Housewives is back. We were in a drought,
for a long time.
but we are now, I think we're going to be set up for success. Other Bravo shows that are leaving a little to be desired, a
Below deck.
lot to be desired below deck.
I was really hoping it was going to start off strong because we have some hot we have a hot cast. Normally when there's a hot cast there's like drama happening. And I love
Yeah.
Aisha. She's funny. Another person that is like comedic relief. She's funny.
Yeah.
Um and Sandy normally brings a good season, but it just has been dropping flat. Like I'm bored every week.
I'm falling asleep.
I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah, so basically, and this is Below Deck Med. The
Yeah.
last season of Below Deck, just like I think it was just regular Below Deck, was good. It was hitting like the whole Ben situation,
Which was
and
the last season? Who was the captain last
they
season?
had Jill Zarin.
Oh, yes. Yes, that
It
was the
was
last.
Captain Carey.
Yes, 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 yes.
That one was hitting, so I had high hopes, and then it's just kind of falling flat. But I would say their main storyline, other than what's her name, who can't fold or can't do laundry, which like
Yeah.
boring, let's move on, is Gail.
Mhm.
And she is tempted to cheat. And they have alluded that she has done some things that have set her up to cheat on her boyfriend slash partner. And then we saw recently that they had broken up.
Yeah, this is how boring Below Deck is right now. We don't even know the guy's name. It's like I don't
Yeah.
even remember his name. The guy with the bowl cut, the Irish guy. No idea what his name is.
Irish guy, Nathan?
Nathan? Sure. We'll go.
Nate?
Yeah, Nathan. But that's how boring it is. Like I don't even remember half these people's names.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep.
Exactly.
But it did bring up a good point and something that I have discussed in one-on-one sessions
Mhm.
is cheating. And I think it's just kind of nice to be able to talk about some reasons why some people may cheat, some reasons why people may try to justify cheating, and why people shouldn't ultimately.
I I want to caveat this is my hot take for the week is that I don't think cheating means that your relationship is over or doomed.
Ooh. Okay, do tell.
I think that a lot of times this will go into, and I want to hear you too about why you think people cheat. A lot of times, I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, people cheat because of something that is happening internally with them. It's not necessarily about the other partner or
Mm,
what is missing in the relationship. It's about their internal relationship with themselves of their own search for worth, their own search for to being desired, their own search for adventure, excitement, or novelty that they might feel isn't in the relationship, but they don't have the tools to talk to their partner about it, or they have tried to talk to their partner about it and their partner becomes really defensive or scared and cheating then happens. I think that if you cheat and you do show remorse and you are honest about it with your partner, you can work through it and it can be something that ultimately brings you stronger and closer together. There's a lot of fire to go through until you get to stronger and closer,
yeah,
and you have to be able to withstand that. But I don't think that just because someone cheats, you necessarily have to end the relationship.
yeah. And I agree. I think that cheating is a symptom of a larger issue, whether that be intimacy, physical connectedness, communication, overall trust. I think that that is a result of something else that's happening beneath the surface. I think sometimes when it's gotten to that point and you do something that you can't take back, I think a lot of the time the other person who was cheated on cannot seem to recover from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of that, I think it's really difficult to get back together. And that is not to justify, cheating or being cheated on at all, but it's just to kind of understand that once something's been done, you can't really undo it.
Yeah, you can't undo it exactly. And I do think that that's the burden of cheating is that the majority of the work lies on the partner who was cheated on.
Mm.
Like
Wow, yeah.
it's like they have to learn to forgive. They have to learn to trust. They have to learn how to not be hyper vigilant or not be really anxious about the actions their partners are is doing. Like it's a lot of work for the person who was cheated on, and they're already the one that's going through heartbreak.
Yeah. When in reality, it should be a mutual understanding of what's going on beneath the surface,
Totally. Yeah.
because that's always what it comes down to. I mean, I think also in this circumstance with Below Deck, I think you are building intimacy at such, even friendship wise, building that level of intimacy with someone at such a fast pace because you are living in these close quarters and you're spending all of your days together and you're spending most, if not all, of your downtime together. So, not to justify it at all, but I understand how having that physical intimacy would, entice her to want to hook up with someone,
Totally.
regardless of relationship status. Now, what I don't understand is how people can live this life and have this kind of inconsistency and continue without being tempted. I mean, you see Aisha, and she's in a loving relationship. I think she's actually engaged to her partner, and I think that that's great. And she's able to do it, but it also takes somebody who is a relationship that is very strong to begin with. You have a strong foundation going into it, and you both practice extreme communication. And this is how I'm feeling, and checking in with each other, just like, how's your day? Building that kind of intimacy and maintaining that throughout the whole experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why do you think people cheat? Like, what do you think are some of the reasons?
I think that they're not being satisfied on a physical intimacy level, or they're bored. I think sometimes people see like this shiny new object. And I also think that people can be addicted to the act of doing something that they're not supposed to do. And this is something
Mhm.
that I've kind of talked through with a client of mine in the past, where they were trying to understand, like, why is this so appealing to me? Why do I want to do this? Because I love my partner and I don't want to hurt them. And we talked about different kinks and how to channel that energy and channel it in a positive way that would likely not end their relationship,
Mhm.
because that was also on the table, is that this would definitely end their relationship. So, yeah, I think some people just like that kind of rush of an adventure, feeling of adventure, like this is something new. And then immediately comes the regret, comes the, feeling terrible about yourself. At least one would hope that you would
Mhm.
feel regret. Um, but I also think now we are in a different time too, where there are such things as open relationships. And I have also witnessed cheating, and talking with people in the past about cheating. And one partner was open to this idea of an open relationship, and the other partner wasn't. So, what did that lead to? Cheating.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I think what I see with a lot of times with women is when I see women cheat, what I notice is typically it has to it's connected to the fact that they have asked their partner for change many, many times and it's been ignored. And
Mm,
whether that's I want you to be excited about me, or I want to feel desired by you, or I want to feel like my pleasure matters, or I just want help around the house because I'm the only person doing everything. I'm taking care of the kids and I'm cleaning and I'm cooking and I'm working full time and I'm exhausted.
yeah.
And I think a lot of times when I work with couples where maybe the woman has cheated, the reasons why she's cheated have been things that she's brought to her partner for sometimes years, and they just like haven't heard her and they haven't listened. And so I think a lot of times too, people cheat because they're just want someone to listen to them and see them. Like I've told my partner this for years, they don't listen to me, they don't see me, they don't want to make a change. This person that I just met though instantly sees my frustrations and my desires and instantly makes space for me and room for me. And that's what I've been begging my partner to do. And they have not been able to do it.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting that you brought up the point of that. You don't think that it has to be an end all
Mm-hmm.
situation. So, how have you coached people to that reconciliation and that coming together?
I'm first of all really honest with couples. I'm like, okay, this is going to be really, really hard. This isn't going to be easy, and this is not going to be pain free, and this is going to be long.
Yeah.
Are you willing to do that? Like, for I need both of you to say, to like tell me your honest thoughts. Are you willing to do it? And if you're not willing to do it, that's okay. Let's talk about conscious uncoupling and how we can make your breakup something that is supportive and not a dynamite
Yeah.
explosion. So but I have to get their buy-in, both people, and I'll explain to them like why it's going to be hard. Okay, for the person that was cheated on, this is going to be really hard for you to learn how to trust them. It's going to be really hard for you to leave the past in the past, and that's the burden you have to carry. Is like leave the
Hmm.
past in the past and not drag it up every so often because your pain's coming up. Um, and then the other partner, the partner that did the cheating, you're going to have immense patience. You
Oh,
cannot get
yeah.
mad when your partner brings up, I don't want you to go to this because I'm scared and I just want you to stay home with me. You can't get mad at them. You have to have patience and understanding.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that you can do those things and or you don't want to learn how to do those things, this is not going to work. And so then a lot of what we talk through is like how to have good healthy communication speaking to the wound. And a lot of that is like instead of saying, I don't want you to go see your friends tonight, I want you to stay home with me, saying it from what's the wound there? Can I talk to the wound instead of like this reactive part of me? The wound is I'm really scared that if you go see your friends, you're going to cheat because last time you hung out with your friends, that's when you met this other person and you cheated. I'm really scared to trust that you're going to come home to me.
Yeah.
That's the wound. Can you speak to your wound instead of this kind of reactive part?
Yeah. And I think I love that you brought up also like leaving that circumstance in the past and like acknowledging, you can definitely acknowledge and understand how far you've come, but I think that's a huge part of it too, is that if you are willing to move past it as the person that was cheated on, you have to be willing to say, I accept this and I'm not going to let this infiltrate future arguments or
Mm-hmm.
build up as resentment.
Totally.
Because then that will ultimately lead in an ending. And if you can't come to that realization honestly with yourself and wholeheartedly believe it, then I don't think that there's room for success in the future.
Totally. Yeah. And if you can't do that, that's okay. That doesn't mean that there's like a failure on your part. Like we can't always do these things. And a lot of times it's dependent on the people we're in relationships with too and what they bring to the relationship. You saying I actually can't do that or I don't want to do it because I don't want to spend that much time on this, that's okay. You can opt out and that doesn't mean that you're a failure.
Yeah.
If you do want to work through it though, and both people want to do that, both people have to be on board, then you can. I think you absolutely can make repair after infidelity.
And if you were to speculate, given the information that we know based on Gail's relationship on Below Deck, how would you predict that that will unravel?
Her,
Or with her, the person that she was in a relationship with in the long distance?
well, they broke up, right?
Yeah. So do
Yeah.
you see them at a time where they would get together again?
I don't think so, but I think that a lot of that probably has to do with yachting, like more than anything. Like it has to be
Yeah.
so hard to be in a relationship in yachting. And when both of you are in yachting and you're always on different boats and you're always in different parts of the world, different time zones, you're working your ass off from like morning till like late evening. Of course, you like that. I think that more that they probably won't get back together as to like logistically, it doesn't seem like a. It seems like a logistical nightmare to be in a
Yeah.
relationship with someone that's a yachty.
Well, and I also think too, it seemed like it didn't start on a strong foundation. If at the beginning of the season he was like, "Why aren't you texting me? Why aren't you?" It seemed like there was
Yeah,
some other trust issues
totally.
on the surface as well. So,
Yeah, and those trust issues are not going to go away.
right, it's only going to get worse,
They're only going
especially
to
in
get
that kind
worse.
of work environment.
I will say though, like, have you had couples that have cheated that have come to you and have been able to make repair? Have you?
No.
Okay.
Ultimately, it ended up ending because of rocky foundation to begin with, and it wasn't an isolated incident. It was continuous.
Yeah, yeah. I've had several couples I've worked with who have been able to repair after infidelity, but I would say that the reasons they've been able to do that is because also these people were like really willing to do their own individual inner work.
Yeah.
Not like so much about me and what I brought as much as like they were both willing to like deeply look at themselves and the reasons like why they cheated, why they weren't talking to their partner about what they needed, or why they were talking to their partner and why the other one wasn't listening. Like
Yeah.
they were really able to look at themselves and not just the cheating. They were able to look at all the symptoms or all of the reasons why the cheating occurred.
And I think people, maybe this is a hot take, maybe it's not, but I think that people who are more inclined to cheat are going to have narcissistic tendencies because they are not considering the other person in the relationship. And this is not always the case, but I'm just making a hot take here. And a lot of the time, that person cannot have the self awareness to understand the work that needs to be done to have that reconciliation. So, and that was the case in the example that I've been
Yeah.
providing with someone that's come to me with this. So, I think too, understanding your self-awareness of what you can't as the person doing the cheating as what you can do to build repair and regain trust from the other person or people is really important.
Yeah. Exactly. If you can't drop your ego, you can't repair from this.
But also narcissistic people will never admit that they're a narcissist. So you're stuck in this cycle kind of. Well, I guess the unwillingness to meet in the middle or, have this self-awareness could also be a sign that somebody
And
may be a narcissist.
a lot of therapists are taught to in like traditional modalities are taught to like placate the narcissistic partner, the person that has maybe narcissistic tendencies because you don't want to lead to an eruption or them triangulating the session. And triangulation is where they kind of form a pseudo false relationship with the therapist, and then the other partner without the narcissistic traits feels left out. Um,
Mm.
and that's a common thing that people with narcissistic tendencies do. And so like traditionally therapists are taught to placate that partner so that doesn't happen and like be really gentle with them. And I actually recently took a training by Terry Real, and he's a therapist, and I loved his training because he was like, I throw that out, I actually look at them, and the way he handled it was so cool in all of his examples. He's like I look at the guy, I'm like, okay, Joe, I've got good news and bad news. You want the good news or the bad news first? After like doing their intake, okay, I want the bad news. The bad news is you're displaying narcissistic traits right now. The way you just spoke to her was incredibly manipulative. The way that you handled this situation. You diminished her, and there was also verbal abuse in the way that you were talking to her. That's the bad news. But the good news is that I don't think you're a narcissist. The good news is I don't think you're
Mm-mm.
a bad guy. But I do think that if you continue with these behaviors, your relationship is not going to be the relationship you told me you wanted when we stated our goals at the beginning. Are you
Wow.
willing to do the work to look at these parts of you that are displaying harmful behaviors in your relationship? And I was like, wow, that's amazing.
It's turning it back on someone.
Yeah, and also giving them, hey, this is what I see. Are you willing to do the work? If you're going to erupt at me, then like, okay, you're not in a place to do this and you don't want to see it.
Yeah, don't
But
waste everybody's time.
don't waste my time. I don't as a practitioner, I should never be working harder than my clients. And I think sometimes clients forget that. They think that we're supposed to do all the work, but it's like I can't do any of the work for you.
Yeah,
You actually have to do all the work, and I should never be working harder than you.
absolutely. And that's, I think, 101. Like,
Hmm.
you have to put in the work. 45 minutes to an hour once a week, twice a week, once a month, however, is not going to radically change your life if that's all that you're willing to put into it. It has to be continuous and every day. And having that integration piece is so important.
Totally. And having couples like know that this is going to be work. That this like you're coming here not to just like vent about your relationship and to like verbally process. You're coming here to make changes.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to make changes, then I'm probably not the practitioner for you.
Yeah. I love that.
Me
What a
too.
nice little nugget. And I hope that that would resonate with someone if they're listening to this and considering engaging in any kind of coaching or therapy or anything like that, to
Yeah,
consider that.
the therapy modality that I was just talking about by Terry Real is RLT therapy. And so if you're interested in looking that up, you can see practitioners that are specialized in that as well. But I really like his models. I'm excited to take more of his courses too.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Are you taking any courses right now or any like books that you're excited about or anything? I know you just moved.
I
So,
did just move and I just started a new full-time job. So I am focused a lot on learning that, which I
yeah.
think has a huge learning curve in of itself. And then also they are encouraging us to do take advantage of professional development opportunities within. It's in public health, so within that
Yeah.
realm. Um, so I will be taking some coursework in that arena in the near future. Um, but yeah, I do. I look forward to going through my book list from my coaching program and picking some things out and starting to jump back on the horse. And
Yeah,
that's something that you're so good at is your continuing education, because the best investment is the investment in yourself.
it is. I think I love learning, and if I'm not, what I've noticed with my own work with clients, if I'm not taking courses or like reading books, I don't feel excited about going into session with clients. Like
Yeah.
I need my own learning in order to feel excited about what I'm doing. Otherwise, I kind of have a hard time like motivating myself to want to do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
if anybody has any recommendations on books or podcasts or classes or whatever, please let us know.
yeah, absolutely.
We've been actually getting some emails and I love it, but like
Oh,
also DM us,
thanks for
please.
checking the emails.
Yeah, I love it and I think it's great, but yeah, feel free to also DM us. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Gmail as well.
Yeah.
Bravo Bedside Banter, and engage with the reels on Rachel's sister Sarah so that we can know what to show her, because those are really what's getting me through.
The TikTok like blew up too for our little TikTok account. It's like going crazy. The
I love
engagement's
it.
really high. It's really fun. People are commenting a lot of things to show her next. So we've got some ideas, but keep sending them our way.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for spending your time with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.